The numbers just one more time for this great life, uh, health, natural class. And Brother Frazier has been teaching us to do some great things and challenging us also. So not only do you need to follow the eating plan, but also the challenges that he put in place and that he asked us to do. Like, how many of us got some sun this week?
I get plenty of that, Pastor. I get plenty of
And
sun.
I did one day for lunch. I just went outside for my hour and just got the sun. And I just stood out there. It was hot, and I said, "Well, I'm just get it. I'm get it." I got some sun, and anybody else got some sun? You, you got some sun? You say you got some sun?
Yes.
Did you get some sun, Sister William? You got some sun? You got some sun, Sister Daniels? Sister
Yeah,
Daniels, what kind of sun you had got?
I take my client out every day, and there's nothing but sun where she is, so we walk around the circle slow, come back.
Well, I'm
You out there in the
I'm out
sun,
there.
so you just need to just get from up under that umbrella and just
I do too. It'll put you to sleep.
get that sun
That's it.
and that fresh
It'll
air.
put you to sleep. Sometimes I catch myself.
How about and then
Come
one
on,
of
girl, get a
the
hot dog, huh?
one of the other challenges was to fast. Anybody fast this week? Right? You fast. You don't have to go in detail, but you did your fast. How many how many hours or so many hours or
I get hours.
day and a
I get a
half?
half a day.
Maybe half a day, 2 days.
Count.
Yes,
Hold on, say it now.
and calendar,
There you
because
go.
I haven't eaten anything since Monday.
Right. Good. Me too. I haven't had anything since Tuesday. I haven't eaten or I haven't eaten anything. So I've been totally just living off of the what's already on the inside. Um, you
I had a apple today. I did. I actually forgot what I was supposed to be doing. I designated today for that day. So I
okay?
actually started working on some stuff next week, Really,
How you? Anybody feeling more energy? You feeling the inches off your
Yeah,
clothes?
my
Your
belt. I'm in that
energy
last
levels?
loop.
You didn't win. You didn't win a
I
loop.
got one more.
One more.
Before I had, oh wait,
Oh,
I got one more.
6 pounds.
6 pounds and 2 days.
I don't know, I ain't weighed myself yet. I'm just gonna wait for a while. I know I was 271 when I went to the doctor before I started this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait for at least about a month that I get my report.
Good stuff.
I get my report.
I'm telling you, if you believe in what you're hearing and you put it to work,
Yeah,
hearing become more than just hearers, but become
do
doers, and you will see it actually working and actually doing what he said it'll do. And we have a witness right here with us again, and she have given her testimony on how it works and how it helped her. I'm truly amazed about what I have seen and what I have heard, and to see the enthusiasm coming from the people about it. That's really trying, that's calling and say, hey, do I do this? Hey, do I do that? Hey, call Brother Frazier. He gave you out the cards. You can call him. He'll answer you. He's your coach. I'll tell you what I did and I'll tell you what I'm doing, but you need to call him. So wonderful things, and the numbers are looking good, feeling good, energy level is up, and it's amazing. Um, um, Everything he said just comes to pass, and it's not him. He'll tell you it's not me. I'm just helping you see what your body was capable of doing from the beginning. That your body does the healing. Your body does all this stuff. It's made to do this. but then we were doing everything trying to help it along, and we was hurting it. So we just thank God, and I thank God for everybody's here. So we're gonna turn it over to our great coach, our leader, Brother Frazier. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, thank you. He's always saying some great stuff. And I love hearing.
Yes.
His pants trying to fall off.
I see his pants about to fall off. I see his pants about to fall off, trying to hold it up. That's right. That's right. But I really want to commend y'all because it really makes me feel good when I hear people when they say that they're doing those things that I've been told to do that help me get healthy. And then you do them and they make you get healthy. All that does is reassure me what I'm doing is the right thing, because at times I used to wonder, should I tell somebody to go get fresh air or should I tell people to try this fruit thing or should I tell them to combine their foods a little different? I don't know if this stuff really true, even though it really helped me out, But then when I started seeing it help other people with their heart problems or other problems, because all I knew it to do was help me lose weight. All I knew it was to do was to get rid of my high blood sugar. I knew it could get rid of diabetic neuropathy. So those are things that I was secure about. But when I had certain people correcting their eyesight or doing things to try to correct their eyesight, or people who was, doing stuff to get rid of ovarian cysts or different things like that, then I can go and tell somebody, hey, I know a person who got rid of ovarian cysts by fasting. Or I know somebody whose heart got strengthened by fasting. Or I know somebody who kidneys started back active when they started fasting and stuff like that. So it's good to hear when y'all come and tell me that some things that have happened over the week and you start feeling better and you got your energy back up and stuff like that. That makes me want to go tell somebody else later tomorrow. I'll be out there even harder, wanting to go out there and spread that message to somebody else. So I really want to thank y'all and thank y'all for doing. Matter of fact, y'all need to give yourself a hand. And it's really good, like when I have young ladies like Sister Beth. And I have ladies like this. Deep don't never call me. Deep don't never call me. But when I call them and I just tell them to do something, they just go and do it. Like I call her up and I tell her, I say, hey, I just want you to fast. Just fast with me for 2 days. She didn't say why. She didn't say, I don't know now, and all this type of stuff. She was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And then, matter of fact, she called me, hey, I'm 24 hours down, and I'm still going. I think I'm going to go a whole nother until 12 o'clock tomorrow. 12 o'clock tomorrow still came here. She said, I think I'm going to go a little longer. You see? So, and that makes me feel good, too. And they seeing what's happening. She called and said, well, she let me know she lost 6 pounds. Yeah. So, it's not, it can happen with anybody. It can happen with anybody. That's right. I didn't pay these people, nobody to say nothing before y'all came in here. I didn't pay you to say, hey, you fasted. I didn't even know you fasted. Nobody paid you. But these things are really happening. And you're seeing it cross amongst each other. All right. We're going to go a little step further today, though. Well, this week, we're going to dig a little deeper. We're going to do a little more clean. I know we feel good. But the objective is, once we get to a higher step, we can go another step higher. All right? So once I get you the way you understanding that your body heals itself, then I can show you how to start healing it. All right? Now, you already know the body heals itself. Matter of fact, a lot of y'all have already started doing things to heal yourself. Let's help you understand those principles. There's 10 principles. You'll hear me talk about them every day. You'll hear me talking about them every time I talk about health. There's 10 principles. Think of them like how you hear about the Bible, about the 10 commandments. That's how you can remember these 10 principles. Put them side by side. The first one we know is cleanliness. All right? Pay attention to that now. Remember that in your head, because I'm going to ask you that question in just a little while. The first one is cleanliness. Now, how important it is to be clean? It's important to be clean. You ever seen a dirty person that have sores and all type of stuff? Matter of fact, we had this one guy, he was real young, they say he never used to wash until he started having skin problems on him and said stuff was eating at his flesh. You know, he had maggots in his bed and it was eating it. Parasite.
Rodent bacteria.
So his situation got even worse from his uncleanliness. All right. So it's imperative that we be clean if we wish to be healthy. All right. Now, not just clean on the outside, it's important that we be clean on the inside. Because we know the cause of all diseases, what? Toxemia, poison blood, filthy blood. Poison blood is filthy blood. When the blood becomes filthy, it's poison. And then what? The necessary parasites have to come to eat that poison away. Remember when I told y'all last week, if we leave trash here in the corner, that trash got to be decomposed. So the necessary parasites, there's a parasite for everything that dies. You see buzzards go around doing their job. Every other parasite go around doing their job. And they come out of nowhere. This is what you call the terrible nation. They come eat you out of the house and home. If your house ain't right, it ain't strong. All right? So cleanliness is important inside and outside. So that's number one. Cleanliness. Cleanliness. And y'all know what the Bible always says about cleanliness, right? Matter of fact, back in the days of Moses, when he was given the law, certain stuff they couldn't even do inside the city. If it was unclean, they said, get it out the city. We don't want nothing unclean in the city. I mean, anything, unclean in the city. We don't want that. So if there's things unclean in your environment, you got to get them out of your environment. See, Moses was setting the people aside, free, a peculiar people. He was changing them away from the ways of the Egyptians. They were dirty, filthy folk. And he was trying to make them clean. And he was telling them things to wake them up. Get away from eating all the flesh parts. Get away from, messing with your husbands and wives and doing all these crazy things. He was trying to civilize the people. Get away from being beast and animalistic people. So cleanliness is number one on those principles towards health. So y'all remember that. I didn't say it about 30 times, right? So y'all, when I say, hey, what is number one? You should say cleanliness, right? And when we say cleanliness, what we mean? Inside and out, all right? Now, after cleanliness, we want to talk about sunlight. And Pastor Bruin was just talking about sunlight. He was out getting sun. It's important to get sun. And Pops even said that the sun made him go to sleep. Well, then if you have a problem going to sleep, he just told you the remedy. Go get some sun. He said the sun put him to sleep. How many of you know after coming from out of the sun, you feel drained and just want to go to sleep? Well, then if you can't go to sleep, what you need to go do? Go get some sun. How many of us know about the benefits of drinking milk? Anybody know the benefits of drinking milk? And they say it's vitamin D in it. Supposed to be for your bones then. But why are we suffering from so much bone problem? We drink so much milk, it's a shame. We drink milk in our coffee. We put milk in our cereal. We put milk in our food. Milk and cookies. Why our bones are still deteriorating? Because we hide from the sun. The sun is where we get our vitamin D. When the sun rays hit your skin, I don't know why it was created like this. Scientists don't even understand why it's able to be done like this. Who cares? Scientists don't understand how power, they know the conditions to create power, but they still don't know what power comes from and where it is and stuff. And no one knows about life. They know the conditions, but we know the conditions how to maintain life or have life long if you get fresh air, sunlight, rest, relaxation, adequate sun, the sunlight, the stay clean and stuff like that. Those are conditions. Just like the electricians have to maintain conditions where we can have this thing called, electricity. If you want to have this thing called life, there are conditions for it. For you to maintain this body that you're living in, you must make sure that body have fresh air. You must make sure that body is clean. You must make sure that body gets sunlight. Sunlight is to be taken on the skin. You remember you said you were sunbathing, right? So you allowing the sun get directly on the skin. Now, when it gets directly on the skin, it is transformed into vitamin D. That's your vitamin D right there. You don't need no milk. For some reason, you are a producer. You were designed to produce your own vitamin D if you only just use the sun. You don't have to go down there to the herb store and get their bottled vitamin D, the D3s and all that type of stuff. You don't have to pay nobody for vitamin D. You can produce it yourself by just sitting out there in the sun. Now, think about it. People, when they want to fatten up their chickens in the chicken coop out there, they keep them in the dark now. They don't allow them to get roam free anymore. They keep them in the dark. But in keeping them in the dark, they get fat and they what? They weak in their legs, their bones are break. Matter of fact, you go to a KFC now and get a 10-piece, every chicken in there gonna have a broken bone.
A broke bone.
A broke bone.
Broke wing.
Because the bones are no good. They don't grow them in sunlight no more. They raise them all in darkness. So imagine if we're in darkness, then all we're doing is accumulating fat on us and toxins, and our bones are becoming what? Weak and poor. We're going to be easily broken. You know, one little fall and our bone gone. And we see that in older life. Not only on the skin, it also should be where? In the eyes. Not only getting sun on the skin, you should get sunlight in the eye. Why is it important to get it in the eye? First of all, it helps what? It helps with eyesight. It helps with your sleep cycle. All right. Now, when should you do the sunbathing? I want to make sure you understand when you're going out here in the sun.
7 and 10.
Between 7 and 10. I don't suggest anybody going out into the sun around 1 or 2 unless you've been out there for a while. Between 7 and 10. Or after. No. Around after 5 or 6 when the sun has gone down. But not gone down, but you know, it's still up there, but not right over us. And so hot. And that's when you want to look into the sun. You don't want to look into it at 12 o'clock or anything like that. You want to look into it in the morning, early in the morning, or when it's
first
set,
rising,
or when it's set.
Going to set.
Right, and you want to start off, if you've never done it before, you want to start off with your eyes closed. Say that this is the sun. You're going to close your eyes and have your lids open and just stare at the sun for 15 to 20 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes. And allow 15 to 20 minutes on your back and on your front. When you're sunbathing, allow 15 minutes on the front and 15 minutes on the back. All right? If you got long hair like mine, push it to the front. Do it like this. Make sure you get it on your back. The hair don't need no sun. It's already gone. It don't need any sun. But you want to get it in your eyes at the same amount of time, about 15 to 20 minutes. After about a week or two, then you want to start opening up your eyes and allowing the sun to go directly in your eyesight. And then as you continuously do it, your eyes will get stronger where you can go out there at 1 o'clock and stare at the sun and it won't cause you no problem. That's what you want to do. You want to build your body up where your body can be more powerful than nature. But the only way you can do that is by obeying nature first. You got to go to her school. Go get her air. Breathe as much as you can. You know, stay clean. Get her sunlight as much as you can. You know, and not just the sun. The air is very important. So when you're out there getting sun, you're also getting air. And there is a such thing called a air bath, where if you notice, no animals wear clothes except for probably Paris Hilton animal. Her dog, to make sure he got a coat in the hand and gloves and stuff like that. Matter of fact, the dog clothes probably cost more than all our clothes put together. But no other animals in nature or in the wild wear clothes. So they're always stimulated by nature. Their whole body is getting the sunlight. So when we're out there getting sunlight, if we're wearing dark clothes, all we're doing is reflecting the sun. The sun is never hitting our body. And if we're wearing too much clothes, then we're also what? Reflecting the sun from our body. They can tell you, when I used to be out there, I have a tank top on and I have a pair of shorts, or I might just take the tank top off. And I just be on the corner with a pair of shorts on, and I'm turning around, and my feet with no shoes on, in the ground, touching the dirt, Just really allowing myself to get back to nature. I was really letting the wind hit my skin. I started feeling stuff again, and then while I'm out there, I was able to think about things. It's like a meditation you out there sunbathing and sun gazing and stuff. Because you can also be out there breathing in the fresh air. When you're taking that deep breath and you breathe out, and you just start focusing on your breathing, you can't think about nothing else. Try to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth now. Now, while you're doing that, I want your belly to rise when you're breathing in. When you breathe in, your belly should poke out. It's like you're blowing up a balloon. And now when you breathe out, your stomach should go in, like the balloon is being, all the air is going out of the balloon. Now try that again.
Breathe in, it goes
Breathe
out.
in.
Exhale, it goes in.
Exhale,
That's
it goes in.
exercise for your abdominal muscles.
Yeah, it actually makes the stomach flat, especially when you're laying down doing
I heard
it.
that.
It will flatten the stomach. If you want a flat stomach, that's all I used to do. I used to be in bed all the time. I was like, what are you doing? Like you dead in the casket. I'd be in there.
When it's in not to cut you off, in some martial arts training,
Mhm.
they teach you how to breathe when you using the martial arts.
Right.
That they call it chi or something like that. But what you do, you breathe in and breathe out. But when your body is the most powerful, is when that air is exhaled.
Right.
All your muscles.
Right. That's exactly right.
And that's when you can deliver your hardest blow.
Right. And most exercises have you do that too. When you're actually putting resistance, you're actually breathing out with it. And then when you're breathing in, you're coming back to rest.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is definitely correct what he's saying there. But the air is very important for you. But think about it. If you're in your mind trying to keep doing, it's hard to breathe from your belly because we've never been doing it. We weren't trained to do it. We talk too fast. So we always breathing from here. You got too much on your chin. Yeah. But when we learn to breathe from here, it takes a lot of time and energy to think to do that. So when you're doing that, that's why psychologists have people do diaphragmatic breathing or deep belly breathing, because it takes your mind off of other stuff. That's why meditation is one of a breathing exercise. You start off all meditation with breathing because you got to clear your mind out. How do you clear your mind? By thinking about nothing. How do we used to clear a tape recorder back in the days when you remember old tape recorders, you had a tape you put in there and the tape already had stuff on it. How do you make that tape blank?
How you do what?
How you make that tape blank? Again.
Play and record at the same time.
And don't do nothing in it and just peace out.
Let it run.
Same thing. That's what meditation is. You still thinking, but you're thinking about nothing. So you clearing out all the other stuff that was in there. That's it. And you do that by breathing. You get your mind on some positive stuff. Your mind is like a recorder, but you can record over it. It's called reprogramming the mind. But it comes with repetition. Repetition is the thing that makes perfection. So repetition brings on perfection. You got to do a thing over and over and over again until you're doing it without even thinking. You're like, I put that together without even a thought. Once upon a time, you need the manual. Put the screw, you're losing bolts and nuts and stuff. Now you got some extra stuff around. I got a trick with this. I don't even need that no more. Once you become perfect at that thing. Right? So, but it comes with practice. Like how you say it, You know, I could have. I really told you how to get healthy the first time we talked. I told you, hey, you need to get fresh air. You need to eat the right foods and stuff like that. But you know, that didn't make sense the first time you heard it. It comes with repetition. As you keep hearing it over and over, and you're seeing it and you're doing it, and it comes even harder in your mind. Yeah, this is something that's capable of being done. It's achievable. And as you see your health regenerating, it makes you want to do it even more. Well, how healthy can I get? I'm still trying to see how healthy can I be. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about trying to go build up in a minute. See if I can do a little Arnold Schwarzenegger move for the Hulk real quick. You know, just to say I did it. You know. But pure air is very important. And even, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with y'all. All right? Everybody in here. Even while we're in here right now, the air in here is toxic for us. All right? We're in this building right now, and if you can smell incense. There's no ventilation in here. So we're actually suffocating ourselves right now until we go out into outside. So think about us when we're in our homes, though. Same thing. We're in these homes and we have these airways. We just come here for a minute. We come here on Sunday. We come here on Wednesday. We come here on Thursday. But at home, we go there every night. We there every day. And we have those incense in there burning. We have the Febreze in there spraying. We have all the other smell, the chemicals, the bleaches, the washing detergents, the dish detergent. We got our cologne. We got lotion. You know, the children got lotion. We cooking food right there in the house with steam and all type of stuff with the gas in there. It's everything in the house. You got sanitation right there in the room, inside the room where you're sleeping at. We got all this stuff. You know, back in the day they used to have the outhouse out the house. You know, so you didn't have all that waste and manure coming back from the septic and stuff like that. But we have become so you'll say civilized that we're killing ourselves. Because if you think about it, the houses now are what called economy houses or economic or energy efficient or something like that. Energy efficient. Energy efficient means that it's so shut tight that the air quality won't change real fast. So when it's cool inside, it's gonna stay cool even though it's hot outside. So it don't take that much to cool it down inside. Well, if it's so shut tight, that means ain't nothing coming in and nothing going out. No air whatsoever. So as we continuously breathe, what are we doing? We're taking out the oxygen there and putting back carbon dioxide. So eventually over time, the carbon dioxide will build up in this air shut tight place. Imagine you being shut up in a bank vault.
Oh yeah.
It's the same thing when we go shut up in these houses. And, you know, we kind of leave every window open. The doors stay open in the house. Because we want continual circulation going. Now, we are upstairs. I think we would just put some bars on the window if it's a problem that we were down there. But you want to continually get air into the house and try to get away from a lot of the smell stuff. You know, we just have to clean up. We don't want filthy. Matter of fact, look at the commercial Febreze say. Febreze tell you, say you don't have to clean up, just spray. You can have a dead chicken back there. Don't worry about cleaning up, just spray. It's a cover up.
Cover up the bacteria.
Right, it's a cover up.
But the bacteria is still in there.
It's still there. Okay, you'll never have to wash the chair. Just spray on it. That's the same thing that they're doing with the water supply. That's the same thing they do with the water supply. They don't clean the water supply. They add stuff to it and say now it's clean. They add a cleaning agent to the water, the city water, and they add something to it and say now the water clean.
They add a certain percentage of cyanide. Very small.
But not just that, all kind of stuff. They put fluoride, arsenic, all kind of stuff. Fluoride. They got all kind of chemicals in there. And it's the same stuff that's in your toilet that's coming out of the faucet. Think about fluoride for a minute. Fluoride they're putting in your water. Now this is a mass poisoning that we know nothing about. And we're getting poisoned without even being told we're being poisoned. Fluoride. All you have to do is go on the United States Material Safety Data Sheet. It's called the MSDS. And you can look up fluoride, and it will say poison, crossbone. It say if you ingest any of it, it can kill you. But here it is, they saying it's good for cavity. It's good for cavity? The first place they started giving fluoride to was in Baltimore. And they have the most cavities than anybody in the United States. Think about it. Fluoride is a ingredient in rat poison. Yes. It's an ingredient in rat poison.
Tell you on the toothpaste,
Right.
do not swallow.
Because of the fluoride.
Do not swallow.
Right.
So, it'd be better to brush, that's why I spoke, to brush your teeth with baking soda?
Well, if you go to the hygienic diet, if you go to the natural way of life, notice that there was no toothbrushes in the days of Adam. And Adam had to have teeth for 900 and some years.
When you chewed on wood or something?
He only ate the fruit. Fruit actually clean your teeth. Think about it, man. Fruit don't even get stuck in your teeth and have to be broken. See, when you eat acidic foods, like when you eat refined foods or processed foods or cooked food, that food gets stuck in your teeth and it can't be digested up here. So acid have to come in there and break that food down. That acid eats at your teeth. See, when you eat fruit are alkaline. They're alkaline food. They don't need, they're not going to need to be broken down with acid. Because they're alkaline already. So they don't erode at your mouth and your gums and stuff like that. Oranges are actually what? Anti-abscorbic. People use orange, the power of orange, to kill germs and bacteria. So to eat an orange is actually cleaning your mouth. Right.
I'd say apple a day to keep your dentist away.
Always.
An apple got that fiber in
Yeah,
it.
you bite into the apple and your teeth go grinding across that pulp inside. Same thing with any other fruit. I'm telling you, fruit is that's the vine of life. If you wish to have life and have it more abundantly, you got to go to the fruit. But the fresh air, that is very important. Make sure you get as much fresh air as possibly as you can. And try to breathe from your nose, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth as much as possible. Because you got to think about it. If we're trying to get waste out of your body, what's the most abundant waste in the body? Anybody know? Carbon. Carbon. What you got to continuously get rid of continually? Carbon. You don't have to go and urinate continually. You don't have to go and have a bowel movement continually. But breathing is a continual action or continual process because carbon is built up into the body at an abundant rate. Look, you eat carbon, what? Hydrates. Carbon and then hydrate. Carbon is the sugar part and then the hydrate is the water. And we wonder why we need water. Now, rest and sleep is important too. We know rest and sleep is the only means by which we can even get energy in the first beginning, right? What's the only way we can get the computer charged up? We got to plug it up to Georgia Power, right? Georgia Power is the only source by which we can get energy here, in our area. Well, the only way the body can get energy is through sleep. Now, it's not just for pops. It's also for you, okay? You got to get sleep too. You also got to get sleep. Sleep is not biased. It don't need just men to go to sleep. It also need women to go to sleep. It don't care about what color you is. If you can be any color. Hue man. You can be a colored man, a hue man. You need sleep. No matter where you at in this world or on this earth, it's going to come a time where you must close your eyes and go to sleep. So sleep is universal for everybody. So is fresh air. You know somebody that can live without breathing oxygen? Nobody. So is sunlight then. So is cleanliness. So is rest. And all the other 10 ways we're going to talk about. So these things are necessary to everybody. So I can't just tell it to you. I need to tell it to you. I also need to tell it to you. We need to tell it to those people next door. They think that they can do it with protein bars and stuff like that. That's not building nobody. They're going to have problems just like those people in the future when their muscles start breaking down and sagging because they didn't build it up right. Just being honest. So rest and sleep is important. None of us is the Energizer Bunny. I'm just being honest. None of us is the Energizer Bunny. All right? It's a time where we have to go back and recharge. If not, we will be on the side of the road like the bunny that wasn't the Energizer. All right? Now, the ideal diet. Since we got the ideal diet here, what I want to do is pass this flyer. Co-pastor did for us. I'll pass that out if you can. Matter of fact, pass those out around to you. And what this is since we're going to be talking about the ideal diet now, I want you to understand we can eat apples, we can eat bananas, we can eat pears, we can eat pineapple, we can eat star fruits, we can eat any fruit. But if we eat them in the wrong combination, we're not doing ourselves no good. What good is eating if that food can't be digested? We can eat good, nourishing food, but what if that food can't be digested? What good is eating it? What's going to happen to that food? It's going to rot, decompose in our belly. It was a guy one time, he said, hey, I told him, I said, what you need to do is, you got to eat a little healthy, man. I said, what you need to do is eat some fruit and some vegetables. And he went on and he said, he called me about a week. He said, man, I still feel bad, but I'm eating your fruit and vegetables. He said, I'm eating fruits and vegetables by the truckload. I said, that's the problem. Eat it by the timber load. Take it by a little bit. You overcrowding your digestive tract. Just because you putting the food in there don't mean the food is being used. All right? You don't want to stuff a furnace because you can put it out. You know, the furnace got to be balanced, in other words. You got to have it balanced to the amount of wood inside there or you'll smother it out. So the same thing with the stomach. You got to balance what you're putting in there where the stomach can use what it got and turn it into fuel. But it can't do it if you got it overcrowded. You know, you got a truckload of cabbage in your stomach. You know, we at the buffet here now I'm talking. All right. The ideal diet, even though this food combining chart got all types of food up here, the ideal diet, according to natural hygiene, is fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. And these foods are to be eaten raw, uncooked, in its natural state, and eaten in the right combination when you're in the right state of mind. If you're stressed, if you're fearful, if you have any emotion that won't allow you to digest your food, skip the meal. Skip the meal. Skip that meal. Your body cannot digest that food. That food going to sit there and rot in your stomach. Digestion takes energy. Emotion and stress take energy. Remember I tell you about the snake? When the snake is in a stressful situation, and if it's just eating, what will it do? It throw it up because it knows it's best to run. All right? So, food combination and choices should be better when they're simple. We have gotten to where we're having 5 basic food groups put on our plate now. You know, we're told by a dietitian, we're told by medical experts and stuff like that we need to take a piece of meat, we need to take a piece of carb, we need to take a milk, we need to take a piece of fruit, we need to have some vegetables, all on the plate at the same time. And then have some dessert after that, and have some grains. And they tell us that our stomach can digest all this stuff at the same sitting. But then they go on to tell you that your stomach is one compartment. We find that the human stomach is one compartment. And if that one compartment, that means that doesn't have hands. When you eat a piece of meat, a piece of bread, and have some vegetables on the side, and you're drinking water down all at the same time, how does the stomach know which one to start on? See, the bread takes a certain amount of time to digest. It takes about 5 hours to digest. The meat requires about 8 hours to digest. However, it's like this. Imagine you having how many, I tell you what, how good you at baking cakes? Yeah. How good are you at baking pies? Okay, what temperature does the oven have to be for baking cakes? What does it have to be for baking pie? Now, can you bake those at the same time? Why not? Bim. All right. Now, same thing in the human body, in the stomach. If you eat bread and it requires the digestive juice to be weak, or the temperature to be at 200 to bake it, and you eat a piece of meat and the meat requires the baking temperature to be at 325, right? If you put both of them in at the stomach at the same time, how would the stomach adjust its temperature or adjust the strength of the juice inside? It can't do it. So then one of them got to go and be taken care of first. So she got to put it on one temperature. And the other one is going to be sitting in there messing up or gooing or turning, messing the falling, the cake falling or something like that. Same thing in the body. If you started eating meat first and then you took a piece of bread, then the meat going to go on and start digestion, and the bread going to sit there and ferment, waiting, pending the digestion. Bread can't just sit there. It can't sit there on your table for too long. It can't sit in the human body long at all.
So the body can only digest a certain combination of foods at one time.
Exactly. Now, if she has something else that can go in the oven with the pie that can be cooked at 200, then you can do that. That's why you can eat bread with vegetables, because vegetables don't care what the temperature is. You see what I'm coming from? That's why you can do meat with vegetables, because vegetables don't care what the temperature is. So it can go in the temperature with the pie, or it can go in there with the cake. So it can go in there with the bread, or it can go in there with the meat. But it can't, the meat and the bread can't go in there together. Or the bread, the cake and the pie can't go in there at the same time. That's the whole logistics about really our problem with food consumption. Because that's the way the American diet is set up. We eat hot dogs, we eat hamburgers, we eat pizza, we eat steak and potatoes, we eat spaghetti. Everything about us is bread and meat. You know, the fish sandwich, fish and taco. Or the what you call it? Taco. But which got the fish and chips, the fish and fries.
Okay, the Bible had the feast of unleavened bread. Unleavened bread is without the bread without the yeast. Yeah. So yeast is like
unleavened bread is usually the ones that it hasn't been cooked and burned by fire and only been processed by. It's like a pure process. It's like a kosher process.
The bread doesn't rise without yeast in it.
Right. You haven't gone the man-made way of handling bread. That's the you say the.
So there is some good bread that you can eat.
No such thing.
No good bread.
No tree producer. No tree producer bread.
But bread grows it like wheat.
Right, but it still has to be altered. Man has to do
You
something.
just eat straight wheat.
Yeah, you can eat straight wheat, but it's not good for you because you're not a grazing animal.
So if I get a Wheaties, a box of Wheaties,
it's been
and
tampered.
eat it just the Wheaties.
It's been tampered with. Because believe me, General Mills, that's not just wheat that General Mills got in that box.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, wheat period. you can't digest it.
Yeah, but you're not gonna want to just eat some wheat. Wheat don't taste good.
I mean, you might want to sprinkle it on something.
You're not gonna want to. Wheat don't taste good. You're not gonna want to eat wheat. It's not pleasing to your taste. It's not pleasing to your sight. You look at a wheat field, you don't get. I'm
So you
hungry.
get your fiber from some other food.
Well, fiber is in the cellulose of the fruit.
Okay.
The fruit is fiber in the apple.
But they
Fiber
tell
in the
they
banana.
tell you that you need bread for fiber.
You don't need that. Well, Adam didn't need that. I always go back to Adam. Adam didn't need it. And he was able to live a long time. I'm telling you. If we look back and see when man was living the longest, what was he doing? He was just in the sun, playing around with his girl. They just having fun eating from the tree, doing good.
I like
They ain't had no bills, no nothing, no stress. Daddy took care of him, everything was good. Same thing with Joe. Everything good when he had the hedge around.
Wait a minute now.
If you want to eat bread, you bread.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, I'm saying this is a walk. This is a walk. Like I say, I want to
I can eat
encourage.
if I eat bread, eat it by itself.
Eat it by itself.
Yeah, I got to have the bread. I mean, not. I see. I eat wheat bread
I do. Hey, the carbs used to be my thing, heavy.
because I can't see anything. So in other words, you're harming yourself by eating the bread and the meat
Right, together.
together.
I ate a sub the other day, and my wife said, I just
Veggies
get the
and
veggies. Don't put no meat on it.
okay,
Get the
all
veggies
right,
up.
Stuff, I ate the veggies and the bread. And
okay.
chop away.
Because like I told you, I made lettuce, lettuce, tomato, and cheese sandwich on wheat.
Bacon what now?
Okay, wheat bread with lettuce, tomato, and cheese.
Tomato and cheese mess you up. You got the cheese is a protein, and your tomato is an acid. Acid. If you look on your sheet right here, you'll see the tomato is up under the protein. It should be up under the protein acid. Well, you see it up under the acid.
So if
fruit.
I eat
It should
tomatoes,
be up under the acid fruit.
eat tomatoes by itself.
Tomatoes go good with. Well, actually go good with the meat. Like if you eat the cheese and the tomato, you good. But when you put bread to it, you messed it up. So
So if I eat some spaghetti, wheat spaghetti with tomato sauce, I'm good.
you messed up. What you would have to do, instead of using tomato sauce, you would have to use red pepper sauce. You would have to use like a different type of sauce. Tomato is not good with carbs. Look right
okay.
here.
Oh, carbs.
Right. You see, tomato is an acidic fruit. It's a fruit anyhow. You don't even need to eat fruit with anything else, tell you the truth. Fruit really goes with fruit. Matter of fact, when you eat watermelon, you only eat watermelon. So if you're going to eat watermelon, you know how you see some people eat watermelon, oranges on their plate when you go to buffet, I'd be like, oh God, I'd be looking, God. They're going to be belching in a minute. That stuff is going to ferment. They might even get drunk off that stuff real quick. Because watermelon, it digests like that. It's really already digested. It's water, like you said. It's really already pre-digested already. So it's so simple to digest that it needs to be eaten alone. If you want a dessert, if you must have a dessert, eat it before your meal. I know it's a custom of eating your dessert after the meal. But sweets and sugar cannot bypass a hard meal. So that sugar, if you eat it after the hard meal, going to sit on top of that meal and rot and decompose. So try to eat you a bunch of sweet before the meal. Eat you a bunch of fruits. Eat you a bag of grapes. Eat you 10 bananas or something before you eat your meal.
Today I took a bag of tangerines downtown.
I know you won't want to eat nothing else.
All I ate was I just ate tangerines all day. That's good.
That is perfect. You can't get no better than that, what you just said.
And I drank water.
That's it. He could have probably cut back on the water, depending on his thirst level. Because tangerines is pretty much nothing but water. See, what we want to do is we want to save energy. you save energy by not overworking the body. You save energy on the phone by not what? Using apps, not talking on it and stuff like that. You know how to say, hey, your battery on red now. You want to be able to get the directions when you get close to the house. You got to stay off the phone. If you want to get this body back energized and back to health, you got to stop abusing it. Let it alone for a little while, and it will regenerate itself. It'll regenerate itself. You don't have to do that. Matter of fact, don't do nothing. That's the challenge. Don't do nothing. When you feel like you got a cough it out. That's it. Don't try to hinder it. You know, just don't do nothing. Go lay down. You lay down, you wake up with energy. Every time you go to sleep, you wake up with energy. Try it more often.
You tell children to do it.
Right.
The child comes and say, go lay down.
Well,
I can tell when my daughter acting up. My oldest daughter, I can tell when she's sleepy. We used to always know when she was sleepy. She get like just start getting goofy and just doing crazy stuff. Oh, it's time you go to bed. And we put her to bed, and she falls straight to sleep. So in here, if you look at the top, you see a big red say pour. You see that going from protein, see it touch the protein, the tip of that pour at the left, it touched protein, and all the way to the right, it touched carbohydrates. Look at it right here. So you see proteins right here, and you see the red mark is actually touching it, and it's actually touching the carbohydrates, and it's in red. Red means don't do it. Don't eat them together. Guess what it say on that red? What it say? Poor. Meaning that's a poor combination. That's a bad combination. Do not eat those combinations. So what is protein? When we say protein, we talking about what? The avocado, the coconut, dairy, cheese, cottage cheese, ice cream, milk, yogurt, eggs, meat, chicken like turkey, fish, beef, venison, pork, etc. Any of the land animals, nuts, olives, seeds, and soybeans. And y'all know soybeans is in everything.
So olive oil is good for you.
Olive oil is not good for you. Now, notice what I said.
I mean, you said it's poor, but if you're going to use any of it.
Right. So that's why you got to make sure, I got to make sure you're saying it right when you say it. It's not good for you, but we're showing you if you do eat them in this combination. But if you ask me what's best for you to eat, guess what I'm going to tell you? Go get you some fruits and go to sleep.
Okay. Now I'm going to see if I'm reading this right. If I get me some olive oil, and I got me some brown rice, and I make me some fried brown rice, like the Chinese do. You see the olive oil, and then I do the brown rice, and add a little squash in it. I'm good.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good. Like, matter of fact, if you saute your vegetables in butter
you can make a dish
with your rice,
with butter.
Butter is a
That's
fat.
a dish right there.
Yeah, butter is a fat.
I got you.
Now, you see butter over here in the fats and oil?
Yeah.
Yeah, like my kids, when they do eat the carbs, they will eat the potato with the butter in it. Put a little butter in their potato. Now, if you want to go beyond that, leave the butter alone. Now, if you notice, fats don't go with protein, though. All right? Fats do not go with protein. That's why you need to stay away from some of these meats, because they're fat. They got fat on them. And if the meat, if you eat the protein with the fat, then they're not going to digest, because you know how some people get the T-bone with the extra fat piece on it. Or they get with the
That's me. I love that fat on that T-bone. Man, you ain't giving me, I ain't giving that up.
Well, you want to do those things as a festivity type thing.
Okay.
Don't do that every day. You can't. Sunday can't be every day.
That's a treat.
Sunday need to be once a year.
That's a treat.
Yeah, it should be like a treat. Yeah, no, once a year.
Once a month.
Once a year. Yeah. Hey, I'm trying to negotiate here. Once a year. All right. All right, now you see down here at the bottom, everything is kind of excellent with what? Non-starchy vegetables. You remember I told you vegetables can go in the oven at any time. All right? Non-starchy ones, man. Not the potatoes, man. You can't eat potatoes with everything. You can't eat the beets with everything. You can't eat the turnips with everything. Those things that grow on the ground, you can't eat with everything. That's what you call the more starchy stuff that grows on the ground. The stuff that grow above ground, that get the sun and get the air and the water and stuff like that, those things can pretty much go with anything. Except for what? Watermelon. Watermelon is to be eaten what? Alone. And melons are what? All type of melons. Cantaloupe, cassava melon, Christmas melon. All type of melons there's out there. There's over 100 more, many varieties of melons. All melons can be eaten together, but they should be eaten alone. Like you can eat a cantaloupe with a watermelon. You can eat a honeydew with a cantaloupe. You can eat a cassava melon with a watermelon. You can eat a yellow meat watermelon with a red meat watermelon. You can do any melon with a melon, but don't eat melon with anything else.
What's up with the garlic?
Dude,
Garlic.
garlic is an irritant. It's an irritant, just like leeks and onions and stuff like that. We don't suggest that. It's not a food. So we don't suggest that in your eating. But if you was to eat it, we would tell you to eat it with, if you notice,
Like in
I don't know if it's even on this one.
use it for seasoning?
Well, you really shouldn't have to season your food. Your food, if you eat your food raw and you have a good palate, you would taste your food. Like I ate a tomato a couple of days ago. That tomato tasted so good to me when I ate the inside of it. It's like I was eating it like an apple.
Yeah. Well, I looked sick, but when I eat tangerines, I can really taste.
You can really taste it.
The sugar.
Your taste buds got to be clean. And how do we clean the taste bud? Now, when you eat, you're gonna taste some food. Pastor Bruin,
Yes.
when you eat, you're gonna taste some food. Your taste buds gonna be excited. Now, huh? Mushrooms is a fungus. It's like a wart that grows on your body. It's fungus pulling from the earth. It's a disease of the earth, in other words. I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't use it. But now the mild starchy vegetables can go good with carbohydrates or go with what? The protein. They're a good combination. But what's the excellent combination? If you want to eat meat, you can eat meat with what? Asparagus, beet green, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, celery, Swiss chard, chicory, collard green, the cucumber, dandelion green, eggplant, endive. Well, you got garlic up here, but you see it's in red. We don't mess with that. We don't mess with leeks, and we don't mess with onion. If you see the stuff in green, those are ideal.
Yeah.
The things in green are the best choice. Everything you see in green in here is the best choice to choose in every box.
It's green tea on here, you said not.
Except for that. I'm glad you saw that. Well, the whole fat and oil box should be left out in our diet. Everything in that box should be left alone. There's nothing in that box you should take. In the fat and oil, we don't suggest anything in there.
But if you're gonna have one that's in the dark, right?
You got to remember my first class now. The first class when I had the thing on the thing. What causes high blood sugar? Fat. Fat is the blockage in everything that goes in our body. So the low fat diet is the one that makes sure that you live the longest.
Is there such thing as good fat?
No such thing. But now fat, let me say it like this. Let me take that back.
Yeah.
There's fat in everything. There's fat in fruits.
So energy. When you pulling your energy, you pulling off the fats of your body, or you pulling off the sugars of your body?
Sugar, everything. The fat even got to turn into glucose.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, it got to even turn to glucose before it can be used. Your body don't run on fat. It runs on glucose. So even protein got to turn to glucose. But glucose is easier turned to glucose but from fructose. It's already a simple sugar. So to turn to glucose is even simpler. But to turn protein into sugar, it takes a lot of energy
goes through too many stages.
Right. And to take fat and turn it into sugar is too much energy too. Because you got to think, okay, sugar is usually coming from you call it the carbohydrate. Fats, you call it hydrocarbon. It's really kind of bad, but they call it hydrocarbon. It's a little scientific terminology.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to go over this other part right here, down here where the fruit's at. You see where acid fruit, subacid fruit, and sweet fruit. I want you to understand, if you want to eat acid fruit, notice that it's next to what box? All right, so if that box is touching, you can eat those fruits together. But if that box is not touching the next box, don't eat it. Like your sweet fruit. What your sweet fruit is touching? The subacid. Don't worry about the melons. We done talked about that. We know melons are to be eaten when? They eat them by themselves. Now, but what is the sweet fruit is next to the subacid? So you can eat bananas with what? Apples, mangoes, apricots. So can you eat a date and a blueberry together? Where dates at? Where dates at?
Well, yeah.
The sweet fruits. Now where blueberry at? So this is where it said subacid up here. Now usually in most charts now, and I'm gonna tell you with me, this chart that we got here is somewhat a little bit off because really all berries are acidic. Because I only eat berries with acid fruits. I don't eat berries with any type of sweet fruit. So this chart is a little bit off. So all berries should be eaten. You can't eat berries with dates. I wouldn't do it. Because berries are really acid fruits. I don't understand why this chart might be a little off a little bit. Can you eat an apple with a papaya?
The way I read it was whatever fruit was in what box, whatever box, that's all the fruit you could eat. So before listening to you tonight, I would not have eaten.
Well, that's good to do, but you can actually eat acid fruit with subacid fruit.
Okay.
And you can eat subacid fruit with sweet fruit. But you cannot eat sweet fruit with acid fruit. So the papaya and the grapefruit is not a good combination. The banana and strawberry smoothie is not a good combination.
I had a smoothie.
Right.
I had a smoothie on Saturday.
But until you can learn the food combining correctly, I would tell you to eat monomeal. Continue in your monomeal eating. Monomeal meaning you eating one food at that meal. Try to just eat bananas. Don't worry about getting all caught up in the combinations of the food. Just eat one food item. Don't try to go and get a platter of fruits to eat at that meal because you're going to burn yourself out on fruits anyhow. Because if you eat all the fruits in one day, what you going to eat tomorrow? You say, I'm tired of all them fruit. Eat one fruit. I eat one fruit probably about until I get tired of it. And it might take me 2 weeks to get tired of that fruit.
It won't be, okay, like, I started out with plums. Okay, I got tired of plums in one day.
Right.
Then I went to like a nectarine.
Right.
Then I went to the grape.
Right.
And then I went to the tangerine.
It's too many fruits out here. And then the fruits change. You can go get a steak, that steak tastes the same every time you go taste it. You go get an apple, that apple change with variety, with the season. With the apple sometimes.
But that steak, that is good every time.
It's the same, stimulating every time.
Yeah.
It's only good here. Once it get here, it's no more good. It's doing nothing else for you.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it's tearing up everything else. It's tearing up everything else. All right, so we're gonna move from food combining because we on number 7 now. Number 7 being normal temperature. It's important for us to maintain normal temperature. Humans run a temperature around about 98 degrees or 99 degrees. Now, this is what doctors call homeostasis. If your body go over that, you're subject to go in a state of have a heat stroke. If you were to if go under that, you have a hypothermia going on. So your body must maintain a normal temperature. It got an internal regulator in there that regulates this temperature. So when you go and subject yourself to cold weather, your body have to adjust, in other words. That adjustment requires energy. That energy must come from your battery. Your battery is your reserve fund that regulates and functions your body. So how do you, if you want to save energy in your battery, you can do so by doing what? Maintaining what? Normal temperature. Don't let yourself get too cold, where your body has to adjust. Don't allow yourself to get too hot, where you have to sweat. Sweating is a disease. It's a process. Your body get hot, your body automatically starts sweating to cool itself down.
But that's good for that.
So what's wrong with the cold? If you breathe in something wrong or some mucus get caught in your throat and you start coughing and your body is trying to rid it, why do you stop it with medicine? It's a process.
It's a good process.
It's a good process. Disease is right action. I've been telling you that from the get-go. Disease is right action. You don't stop that action. That's necessary. It's not normal for you to cough, right? It's not normal to cough, but it's necessary. It's not normal to sweat. You start seeing people sweat. What's wrong with you, big dude? You know, you start asking questions. Hot? Too hot? What's wrong? They sweat. What? Fever going? What's going on with your sweat? It's not normal, but it's necessary under the condition that the body is in. High blood pressure is not normal, but it's necessary for your body to keep on living. That pressure is needed. It needs that pressure. That's the pressure that your body needs to maintain the level of life that you're living right now. If you take off the stress from your life, then your body won't need to press on the gas so hard no more. Or the high blood, the heart don't have to pump any hard no more. You don't have to press the gas too hard anymore. So normal temperatures is very important. Not just in your outer temperature, but also your intake, like even your fruit. Don't take your fruit too cold. You know, have it room temperature at best. Yeah. You don't want frozen food because your body got to warm that food up, and you don't want hot food because your body got to what? Cool that food down. Remember, the stomach is a muscle. If you ever had an ache, you know what you done did to that muscle before.
I know one thing. You drink too cold of water.
What it does? It lock it up. It paralyzes it. So imagine when you eat cold food, and that stomach's supposed to churn the food and break it down, but it's sitting there paralyzing and shock.
Then you shock your body.
Right. That's not good. This is being honest. You're wasting energy and having to warm it up.
Oh, yeah.
But what about keeping them in the refrigerator?
You keep them in the refrigerator to make them last. But you want to pull them out when you're ready to eat them and let them
get
warm up enough. Yeah. You only want them cool to have them last.
Once you get room temperature, yeah.
Right. Regular exercise and mobility. It's very important to move around. There was this book, I don't know if I'm saying the book right, but it was I think it was the Egyptian Book of the Dead, type of Book of the Dead. You heard of it?
I heard of that.
Well, they had it where these people would will themselves to death, in other words. They would do it by sitting still and not moving. I mean, they would sit so still and slow their breathing down that they would kill themselves. They were doing it by self-intoxication. See, every movement you do or every process in your body requires energy. To produce that energy, that cell must have waste at the end. Just like when you get in the car and you use that gas and you burn that gas, there's waste got to be left out of the pipe. There's exhaust, right? So when the cell uses up energy, it has waste behind too. It has exhaust. And this exhaust must be taken out of the body. Now, the only way that it can get out of the cell is through lymph fluid. Lymph fluid is a fluid inside your body. It's just like blood, but it's called lymph fluid. And this lymph fluid actually bathes the cell. The cell sits right there, and it's a fluid that protects the cell. It's called lymph fluid. Now, this lymph fluid don't have a organ like the heart. The heart have the circulatory system have the heart to pump this fluid around. But the lymph fluid don't have an organ. The only way the lymph fluid can be moved is from squishing. It got to be squeezed out of the cell. You get that from jumping. You get that from moving around, walking. You get that from breathing, exercising. Like the people out there doing that, they're moving lymph fluid. Matter of fact, I'm moving lymph fluid by moving right now. You can hear it in my nose getting stuffy. You know when you be up here talking, you start having something coming out of you a little bit because you're moving lymph. You're moving toxins out of the body. That's where exercise comes from. You know, most of us, in the church, the only exercise we get is on Sunday when it's what? Time to shout. That's the only jumping we get. We do. We got to get out and do other exercise. We got to go out here and do some walking around. We got to go out here and, do some stretching. If we wish to be flexible, you want to be flexible? You know what it took for the acrobat, the aerobic person, do all that stuff and stretching. It took them many days to be stretching out like that. Matter of fact, they used to have somebody to stretch them out and stuff like that. You look at the boxer before he go into his boxing fight. What? They're in there stretching them, making sure the muscles are loose where he can go and do his adventure. Well, what if we get up in the morning time and we just get on the side of the bed and we know we got an adventure to go do? We got to go to work. We got to do something. We just start carrying our head over to the side when we get up on the side of the bed. And we carry it forward. And we look back. We move around, looking back. And we rock that spine back and forth. We rock it sideways. Rock it sideways. That'll take a lot of the stress off our body. That low leg pain that we be having, that'll take all that off. If anybody in here having varicose veins and having trouble in their leg, all you have to do is get a rebound. Get a trampoline, a mini trampoline, and just start jumping on it. That'll take away all that varicose. That'll take away all that pain in their legs and stuff like that. Just sitting there, it's called a lymphocyte, a rebounder, a trampoline. It moves lymph fluid. It moved those toxins. I got your daughter, brother right now. He in the wheelchair. He having problems with his feet. It's swelling. He in the wheelchair. He never move around. His feet is always at the bottom. He never have the feet raised. So fluid and toxins is building up in his feet, and it's destroying his feet. But he don't never move because he confined to a wheelchair. He don't move lymph. Regular exercise is important. Emotional poise. Emotional poise is keeping your emotions in check. Not allowing yourself to get too emotional, to fear. Fear is the number one killing emotion. Nobody want to do nothing when they're fearful. I just seen people who went to jail because they were fearful to talk in the courtroom. And they ain't even did nothing. But they were too scared because that's the judge. That's the lawyer. That's the DA, And I'm just a little old me. I never went to law school. But did you do wrong? You know if you did wrong or not. You know how to say, hey, I didn't do that. Where's your evidence? You don't know how to talk about it. Fear is the number one killing emotion. We don't do stuff because we fear that we're going to fail or anything like that. Sadness. And people who have their own self-pity, that's a bad thing too, because they don't want to help themselves. And then they'll break that. They're even toxic to you, a person who sit there and whine all day long. Emotional balance is important. A lot of people have gotten disorders from not having their emotions in check. You see people become neurotics from not being able to control their thought pattern. Going crazy. I had one person was telling me, this guy, he was telling me one day he saw his wife get a phone number from this guy, and the guy he was like, they went to school together, and he was telling me we was talking about automatic thoughts and how our thoughts are run wild, and he was telling me a situation of his, and he was saying that his wife had, didn't come home one day on time. The next day, it was the next day, she didn't come home on time. And when he called, she didn't answer the phone. The phone went straight to the voicemail. And the first thing that he thought about was she is over there to call that dude, and she over there. He called again. The next thought he had, boy, they must be in bed together. And she surely answered the phone now. Then she just suddenly come up in the house. And mad because her tire went flat and her phone was dead. And she left the charger on the, at the job. And she mad that nobody called and checked on her. She actually mad at the husband. And he mad at her because he thought she is in the bed with the dude that he got the phone number. See how our thoughts go? We don't keep our emotions in check. Now imagine how he felt when he started thinking about his wife being in bed with another man. His stomach knocked. His head started hurting. It caused disease on him. So emotional poise is important. It's important that you keep your emotion in balance. Don't allow yourself to get too stressed. Don't allow yourself to get even too happy. I done seen people get on rides and have fun and throw up. They throw up from just laughing too much. Emotions, it's important to keep your emotions in check. And that's number 9. And number 10 is nurturing relationship. This is the last one, nurturing relationship. It's about your groups. Remember that, groups. G is for groups. In relating, at the end of relating, you got G. Remember, G is for groups. The groups around you is your environment. Those people who you have around you, who you associate with, even your family members, even the dog, is how you relate in this world. You relate to that dog. The dog can cause you stress. What if the dog is next door is barking? You can't get no sleep. Or he's barking and you can't watch your favorite Andy Griffin show. If he barking and you're trying to listen to your church song, that dog will make you mad. You might even want to go out there and shoot the dog. You have thoughts of shooting the dog or anything like that. But what is that doing to you? It's not hurting the dog. Matter of fact, the dog's lungs are getting better. But it's hurting you. Well, think about it when you got a problem with sister such and such, and you don't go and talk to sister such and such about that. But you in your mind, you're mad at sister such and such, and you just harping in your head, and you're mad. What is it doing to you? What is it doing to sister such and such? She don't even know about it. You see where I'm coming from? So relationships are important. It's important that the people that you have around you are uplifting or edifying to you. Yeah. If you have a flower in some soil, but the air around it is toxic, that flower will die. So we can have a good pastor, but we can have some deacon who want to eat steak all the time. Right. And we'll have steak in here.
I say amen.
But I'm just showing you something. You see what I'm coming from? Yeah. You got to have good groups around where they can encourage you to get to your state of perfection. If you want to get somewhere, you want a guy who's going to show you the way, who's going to help you. He want to get there too. We on the same road. I'm trying to get the help. Come on, let me show you the way there. Come with me. That's where I'm trying to go at. The other guy gonna say, hey, I'm trying to go to the club, man. We're trying to go get drunk. We're trying to get it right. That's what you're gonna do when you go with him. You're gonna go get drunk and go to the club. So you follow him, you go there. That's your group. That's your surrounding. That's your acquaintance. You get with co-pastors, you're gonna end up in church. You end up at the club up there in Atlanta. Man, somewhere. You see where I'm coming from? So it's important that you got the right people around you. Matter of fact, there's one great psychologist. She used to always say, set your environment up for success. If you set it up, the success got to come. If you plant a seed in a perfect environment, it will grow the perfect tree. You put that seed in filth, in foolishness, that seed will die or will never grow. So you are the seed. Put yourself in an environment to grow. You know the people around you. You know the people who cause you stress. You know the people who drain your energy. Yeah. You got to pull those plugs out of the socket. Unless you running on a higher voltage, the only way you can plug more sockets into your socket is when you're vibrating higher. But you got to vibrate higher first before you can take on these toxic relationships and help these other people in your life. On the airplane, you get on the airplane, what it tell you? When say in the case of emergency, these things are going to drop down from the sky, your face mask. Put yours on before you attempt to help anybody else put theirs on. It's important in that. Even Jesus even said, love yourself and then love your neighbor as yourself. He didn't say love your neighbor first, love yourself first. How you gonna love your neighbor if you don't know what love is? If you hurting yourself, how you gonna love your neighbor? Everything, get to know yourself, love yourself, and then put yourself in a good surrounding. And then love those people around you. And let those people be loved. Does this make sense?
Yes.
What was number 1?
Cleanliness.
And what's number 10?
Relationship,
Stress in a relationship.
nurturing.
Nurturing
Put
relationships.
yourself in around.
Anybody want to give me all 10 of them? But I need you to stand up and tell it. You got to stand up. You got to stand up.
I'm not gonna have all 10.
Hey, ma'am, you got to give me 10. You're going to have to give me 10. We're going to work on this. We're going to work on this.
Sun.
Son.
Well, let me go. The first one is clean.
All right.
Sun. Pure air.
He messing with you.
My circle. That's my circle.
That's your circle.
He just gave you the other two.
That's okay.
And then relationship.
Normal temperature.
Normal.
Regular exercise.
Exercise.
Not just in the church shower. We got to have regular exercise. That's how you remember regular exercise.
Diet.
And diet. Ideal diet. And what? One other thing.
Emotional.
Pure.
Yeah, pure air. Sun.
What type of water should you drink?
Distilled.
Why is it important to drink distilled water?
Because it has
There's
no
nothing in it.
minerals. It's straight pure water.
And what your body uses?
It's actually H2O.
H2O. That's all your body uses. The machine at the doctor office, what do he want in his machine? Because he say that's the best water for his machine. It don't clog his machine. He said it don't tear up his machine.
Yeah, it does a condensation can.
Right. So if it's good for the machine,
yeah.
why is it not good for the human body? The greatest of all machines. You see what I'm saying? So distilled water is very important. Matter of fact, everything that I said was important. And when I talk about these 10 ways of health, I call them the 10 ways of health. Now, when some people, they think that I'm just talking about you can choose one of these ways. There's 10 ways you can go. I can just get fresh air, or I can just get water. You got to do all of them. All of them are imperative if you wish to have this thing called health. Some of them is more important than the others now. But at the end of the day, all of them is important. All right? Do we have any questions?
Number 6. I missed that one.
Number 6 is the ideal diet. Number 6 is the ideal diet.
That's it.
I'll go over them for you again.
I got it.
Number 1, cleanliness. 2, adequate sunlight. 3 is pure air. 4 is pure water. 5 is rest and sleep. And the ideal diet is number 6. And normal temperatures is number 7. Regular exercise and mobility is number 8. Emotional poise is number 9. And nurturing relationships is number 10. Now,
all of those are in his book that we have.
all of them is in the book.
And I have started out reading it, and so far,
Which one you on?
I am just past,
Which book you in?
not the coin book, I'm in the one with, yes, I'm in that
Excellent,
one.
excellent.
I hadn't even started with the coin book. But
That
just
was the first one.
the coin book?
That's the first book.
Really?
Right.
Okay, I picked up that one first, because that one needs to be read first.
True.
But it is. And just in reading the introduction and him calling out some of the issues and some of the health problems, that you hear people talking about that they're going through, and even in your own, like the legs and all the other stuff, and just going through some of the things he went through, it's just the introduction itself is powerful. So I don't know, I just say give it.
Yeah, the introduction. That's why I say you got to read this one.
Give it. I
You gotta
didn't
read
even
it.
start.
He already got it.
Did you start?
Oh, he got
He already got it for you.
Okay.
Yeah, he already got it for you. You got to read that one.
I
That's
got the
powerful.
other one.
Yeah, you got the other one
First.
already. Yeah,
And the 10 ways are in that.
it's in all of them.
Oh, it's in the other
Yeah,
one?
10 ways of health. That's the energy in health. You're gonna know so much about it. Every week I come here, you're gonna hear me talk about the air. You're gonna hear me talk about the sun. You're gonna hear me talk about water. That's our way. You never hear us talk about, hey, try this new herb or try this new, we're never gonna bring those type of things like that. I'm just gonna beat the sun into you so much, the air into you, where you're gonna be up here telling people, hey, you need to get sun. You pale. You got anemia? You mean you're not building blood? Get some sun. Your bones weak? Get some sun. Your stomach hurting? Man, don't eat for 2 days. You won't die. I promise you. I promise you won't die. I know some people in my church, they did a fast. They didn't die. Matter of fact, their health issues got better. One person lost 6 pounds in 2 days. Tell them story. But they're actually not stories. They're truth. But tell it to them. Tell them truth, in other words. We'll say it like that. So you want to get this in you so much that you're living it and speaking it. Because that's how it's going to become you when you're speaking. That's how it becomes. Like for example, if you go in the courtroom and you go and say you're a citizen, you're going to be governed as a citizen. If you go in there and say I'm a man, they got to treat you like a man. Like that. If you get this and you put it into you more, then it will treat you and reward you accordingly. Because you'll know it. Because you'll be talking it then. That's your way of life. Like, this is all I talk about. That's why I guess I'm good at it, because it's all I do all day long. From the moment I wake up in the morning, I'm on the phone talking with somebody about health. I'm at somebody talking about health. And I love doing it. But it came from me first learning it for myself and being my own first client. Before I fasted anybody, I fasted. Before I told anybody else about sun, I went into the sun. Before I, told anybody about the water, I drank only distilled water for a long period of time. Before I told anybody about eating fruit, I did it. Before I talked about fasting, this is stuff I did. And then when I went to go tell people about it, I could tell them what I did. That's it. I don't have to tell them what I'm capable of doing. This is what I did. Or I had to tell them I read this somewhere. I did this. Or I heard it from somewhere. No, this is what I did. And I still do it. I do it with you. It's not something I did. I'm still doing it. And I do it with you. You want to fast? I'll fast with you. You want to eat fruit, some bananas? I'll do it with you. It don't matter. Any other questions?
You need a steak?
I won't eat no steak. If it's one killing a vampire, I might get the wood. That's vegetable.
When we went away this weekend, he did have a steak. He cut the fat off. I said, you don't want that?
Good. Well, he was food combining before he even know it. He was food combining before he know it. Well, I appreciate y'all.
All right, man.
This
Very
week,
good.
We still want to do at least a day of fasting. At least
All
a day
right.
of fasting, sun bathing, and fresh air. Breathing from where?
From the nose and out through the mouth.
And learn more about those energy enhancers. Because if you want more energy, those are called energy enhancers. So if you want your energy enhanced, just follow those ways. Get fresh air, sunlight, rest and relaxation.
So when I eat tomorrow at 12.
Oh yeah, when y'all break y'all fast tomorrow, you gonna break your fast tonight or tomorrow? Okay, break it at 12 o'clock. With the fruit, but with what fruit you gonna pick?
I don't know.
Orange would be the best thing, or watermelon.
Yeah.
Well, but you got to do a real small slice of watermelon.
Right.
Probably about no more than what he'll say. Probably no more than probably about two or three ice cubes, the regular size ice cubes at the beginning, and you do that every hour until 6 o'clock, and then don't eat no more. And then the next day you can go back and resume back to your regular eating pattern. All right. You do that every time you come off the fast. That day you only do like a fruit, and you do a little bit of that fruit every hour until 6 o'clock, from 12 to 6 o'clock, until you wake your stomach back up. But you're waking it up little bit by little bit. That makes sense?
So just either watermelon or orange.
You know what to do with oranges. If you do oranges, you're doing 3 wedges. If you do oranges, you're doing 3 wedges every hour until 6 o'clock. All right?
Okay.